Sit in Sukhasana position. Keep your back straight. Yeah. Starting prayer. Inhale, take your arms over your head, straight and long. Exhale to center of the heart. Eyes are closed. Inhale again. Together. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityormukshiyamamridad. Om. Inhale, take your hand straight up through the center. Elbow will become straight. And then exhale, bring it down through the sides. Keep the hands in Dhyana Mudra. So today's session is again interactive session. More of learning, not doing. So any queries you can ask any time in between. We will first do the loosening practices and then practice Surya Namaskara and answer the queries which have come. Few queries had come, so I'll go through them and then answer. And then anytime you can ask any questions. Whatever I know, I'll answer. So we start with, first is visibility. So many of the people should know that. Some of you may be new. So ensure that your mat is visible. Not now, when you are practicing in the class. Ensure that the full length of the mat is visible. And if somebody stands, you stand, you move to one end, move to the other end, you do anything, you should be visible. So that is the important point of attending online class. So if you see, this is my mat. From here, if you measure the distance from here to the laptop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there are 8 feet distance. So if you keep your computer 8 feet from the mat, that is enough. Most of the things will be visible. It should not be like doing Surya Namaskara like this. Many people are doing Surya Namaskara like this. So what the teacher can understand? Nothing. When you take your arm up, he does not know where is the hand, nothing is visible. Whereas when you are here, the teacher can really see you. So ensure your visibility. That's very important. Now coming, loosening practices. So lying down in Shavasana. I'll keep a mat below this, just a second. Lying down position, this month loosening practices. After lying down, keep the legs together. Hands close to the body, palm on the mat. Inhale, stretch the toes forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, 2. Exhale, back. Inhale, 3. Exhale, back. Inhale, 4. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, 5. And exhale, back. Rotate the feet. 1, 2, all direction. 3, 4, 5. Opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend both the legs. Keep it close to the hips on the mat. Inhale, straighten the left leg up. It becomes straight line. Exhale, bend it. Keep it down. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, left. Exhale, bend. Inhale, right. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, left. Exhale, bend. Inhale, right. And exhale, bend. Together. Inhale, 1. Exhale, bend and keep it on the floor. Inhale, 2. Exhale, bend. Inhale, 3. Exhale, bend. Inhale, 4. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, 5. Exhale, bend. Keep on the mat. Inhale, spread the arms sideways, shoulder level. Exhale, tilt the knees to left. Look to the right hand. Inhale, come up. Look up. Exhale, right. Look to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. Look to the other side. Inhale. So there is no replacement of your feet. Exhale. It's a simple twist. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale. I'm looking to the other side. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Hand down, leg down. Inhale. Raise both the legs 30 degrees. Exhale. Left leg bend, chin on the knee. Catch the shin bone. So this leg remains in the air. Inhale. Release. Exhale. Touch the other. Release. Left. Release. Right. So everything is in the air only. Release. Left. Release. Right. Release. Left. So I don't keep anything on the floor. Release. Right. Release. Left. Release. Right. One more. Release. Left. Release. Right. Inhale, head down, left leg down. Exhale, release the right leg. See the process. So when is the in breath and when is the out breath? Anybody? Anybody can say when is the in this movement? Where is the inhalation? Where is the exhalation?
When we are stretching, that time is the inhalation.
So this is inhalation. So this is exhalation. Now,
Yes.
when is the inhale to be done?
When you keep this back straight.
Yeah. So when I release the chin, it's an inhalation. Then exhale the other side. Can you hear my sound?
Yes, sir.
So when I bring the head back, it's an in breath. When I go to the other leg, it's an out breath. So that's the way to do that. So I'll finish this with an exhalation. When I inhale, I keep the head down, the other leg down. So it's an inhalation. And when I exhale, this leg is released. So that's the process. So follow this. See, even in this, there is a science, right? When you shrink, you are not supposed to inhale. So when this is a shrink, that's an exhalation. When the shrink is released, it's an inhalation. Now it's called Pavanamuktasana crunches. Now I can feel the stomach is tight. The muscles of my, they are getting one. Okay. Over. Now inhale, take both the arms over the head. Exhale, keep the legs straight. Pointed and together. Inhale, left leg, 90 degree. Exhale, down. Inhale, right. Exhale. So it's a straight line raise. Inhale. The other leg doesn't move. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now both. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Down. So what am I using? This muscle. See, whole thing is tightening. Lower back is also tightening. 3. With effort. 4. Nothing else lifts up. One more. 5. Now stay there. Normal breathing. 1. So what am I looking? I am looking at my toe. 2. Not looking. It's okay to look up. So it's better to look at the toe. 3. Because if you look up, you will not know. It may go like this. 4. But when you look at the toe, you will maintain 90 degree. 5. 6. Knees are straight. 7. I am observing my toes and all. 8. 9. So is the hip lifting up? Tanmay, you are doing like, some days you are doing like this. This is the problem. So, and sometimes you are doing like this. So all those you have to correct. Try to keep it really straight line. Then exhale, together both the legs down. Not one by one. Inhale, bend the left leg. Everything else remains same. Exhale, turn. After lying down, palm by the chest. So don't keep palm below the shoulder. This is wrong. What is the correct position? Here. Inhale, upper body lift. To start with, this much is enough. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. See, I am doing 5 times, right? So gradually I will go. You can start here also. Inhale. Exhale. I am preparing my back. Inhale. Is this elbow spreading like this? No. Elbow will be close. Elbow doesn't spread sideways. 4. I am pushing up, down. 1 more. 5. By this time fairly I am good. I am able to straighten my elbow here. 1, 2, 3. Open up the shoulder also. 4, 5. Go down. Inhale, come on the knees and hands. Cat position. Exhale, turn. After turning, Marjariyasana level 2. Keep the knees apart, feet apart, standing toe. Inhale, left arm stretch, right leg stretch. Exhale. 2. Fold. 3. Fold. 4. Fold. 1 more. 5. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2. Looking at the knee. 3, 4, 5. Inhale to cat position. And exhale. Other side. So the distance between the knees is important. Inhale. Otherwise you will not get balance. Exhale. 2. Raise it up. Fold. 3. Fold. 4. Fold. 1 more. 5. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale to cat. Exhale, Vajrasana. I'm turning. Yeah, please mute yourself. Please don't unmute.
Sir, I had a question actually.
Okay.
So when you're stretching your arms,
Yeah.
is your arm straight, like in front of your face, or can it be moved on?
It can go up a little. It should be lifted up. So when you lift it up, arm up, leg up.
It'll be straight. It cannot go on the right side.
No,
I am observing.
No, not sideways. It should be front and up. So there is a boat kind of shape. Marjorie, the spine also becomes a little boat. What is Marjorie one? Last month we did, no? Last month I think, like this. We did this, remember? I think last month or previous month. That Marjorie position, the spinal movement. The same movement.
Last month.
Yeah, I think last month, yeah. So the same spinal movement has to come. So it's a boat kind of shape. So the back also moves like this and like, and your arm should not go sideways. It should go straight in front. Okay?
Got it, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, is your finger spread when your when your arm is up?
No, the upper arm fingers are together. The lower arm, which is on the ground, is spread.
Okay, sir.
Now sitting in Vajrasana. Bring the arms in front parallel. Fist closed. Spread. Close. Spread. Close. Spread. Close. Spread. One more. Close. Spread. Drop. Up. Palm. Drop. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. One more. Down. Up. Close fist. Wrist rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands to shoulder. Straighten it front. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. Now fold it, elbow touch. Take it up. This position is important. You can breathe normal breath also. If you like Ujjayi, you can do, nothing wrong. How many rounds? 5. Now change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those who are doing along with me, you can do, nothing wrong in that. 5. Then interlock the finger, inhale, stretch the arm. So you can feel the length of the spine when you do that stretch. These linear stretches are very, very good for here, for the back. 1. So don't stretch if you had food in the last 2 hours. 2, my food was over by around 1:30. 3, 4, line up your back when you stretch like that. 5, exhale. So how do you bring the hands down? Like that, slowly. Tanmay, you have to pick up that. Don't sit close to your computer, go away. You'll get distracted. See, sitting in front, immediately in front of a computer, one is the rays are not good for the eyes. And you'll feel like, no, doing something here or the other. So stay away. So that completes arm loosening. Then inhale, sit to one side. Exhale, release the legs in front. Hands at the back, shake the legs. After some time, put chin on chest. Neck rotate. 1, eyes are closed. 2. Whatever speed you can do like that. 3. Take it all sides. 4. It might, some of you, it may be a repetition. Nothing wrong in that. 5. You may feel bored also, some of you. 1. 2. All the directions. 3. 4. One more last round. 5. See, all these things I am doing because I have to do the asanas, otherwise not required. Now, last loosening, what is it? Forward bending. We did back bending, remember? Last one is forward bending, preparing the forward bends. Inhale, take the arms sideways up. So this length of the back is important. So if you, unless you can see the correction of my back. So if you do like this will not help. You can see how the back is arching. Some people are like this also. So come to straight up. Lift your chest. So when you lift the chest and chin, bring chin parallel, automatically the back becomes long. So always sit with erect back. And then the first time when you bend forward, exhale and touch the toe. This is enough to start with. Then inhale, lift your hands up. Exhale, catch the toe. So a little more better. I'm catching from the top now. Second one. Then inhale, hands up, sit up. Exhale, catch side of the feet. Little more deeper I caught. Inhale, 4. Exhale, catch the heels. Little more deeper. Last one. Inhale, up. Point the toe. And exhale down. Whatever possible, you have to stay there. 1, 2, looking at the toe. 3, try to pull the body forward. 4, point your toes towards the kneecap, not front, it should be kneecap. Last moment, put the head down. 5. Then inhale, sit up, lift your hands up. How did the toe change? Toe was like this, no? It became like this. Then exhale, hands down. Fold your legs to one side. Come to standing position. Any clarifications on what I did till now? What I did was full loosening practice, which is there for this month.
Sir, forward bending, I am not able to bend much. I'm assuming with time I will be able to, touch the side of my heels, of my feet or the heels.
Yeah, it's correct only. Initially, it's like that. Gradually, you'll get there.
So for me also, when I'm not able to touch my toes.
It will happen with time. So you have to practice. A lot of discipline is required. Keep on practicing, things will change. It's a matter of time. Okay, done. So we go to, so here it's now, see, this itself is you have to sit, you're not sitting straight, Tanmay. So how will you improve? So the reasons why you're not able to do there is here. It is not that, no, that is not the problem. Problem lies in the way you're sitting now itself. Unless you sit, if you sit always like this, you're sitting like this. How you will be able to do forward bending like this? You have to sit upright, chest wide shoulder, chest up. Posture you have to correct. So if you correct it here, you will get there. Otherwise you will never get it. Done. So we do Surya Namaskar. Samasthiti. Feet together, hands tight. Starting prayer. Inhale, take the arms over the head. Exhale, heart center. Eyes are closed. Inhale. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन्न पावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये Inhale, open the eyes. Exhale, look at the nose. Take one Ujjayi breath. Ekam. Tvi. Trini, left leg. Chatvari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. दश, एकादश, द्वादश, ॐ मित्राय नमः। एकम, द्वि, त्रीणि, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव, दश, एकादश, द्वादश। ॐ रवये नमः। एकम, द्वि, त्रीणि लेफ्ट, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव लेफ्ट, दश, एकादश, द्वादश। लास्ट वन, एकम, द्वि, त्रीणि राइट, चत्वारि, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव राइट, दश, एकादश, द्वादश। ॐ भानवे नमः। समस्थिति। Any doubts on Surya Namaskara? What is this style called? Soham Surya Namaskar, which has got one Shashankasana only. Any steps, any doubts?
Sir, from plank position to Shashankasan, I have to adjust my hands, position of my hands to be able to touch the heels, the buttocks and the heels to touch during the Shashank.
So you are forced to pull the hand
Yes.
backwards.
Yes, otherwise my buttocks cannot touch the heels.
That means the position of where you kept the leg may not be correct. Because when you're here, from here you're supposed to take one leg back. If you take it too much back, say if you keep it here, for example, okay, or there are two possibilities. One is that your placement may be correct. I'll tell you. So from here, this is the plank. If you keep the knee short here, if you keep the knee here and then try to sit back, see I cannot sit. I have to pull the hand. So maybe you're keeping that knee down too short. See, from the plank here, if you keep it here, so instead of that, take the toe a little forward, keep a little front knee, then it will not change. See, now I did not move the hand. So after 3-4 classes, you will understand where is the position of the knee so that your arm will stretch, and at the same time you don't have to replace the position of the hand. So if this is the plank, keep the knee immediately there, not immediately, just a little forward, so that there will be a stretch. It will not be like loose like this. It should not be like another position. I'll tell you now. If I keep too much forward, now there is no stretch on the hand. See, elbows are bending, so the stretch is lost on the arm. So it should not be too close, neither too far. You have to find it with your experience. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a quick question. This
Yeah.
is Rahul.
Yeah.
So in the breathing technique, do you always use the nose, or we can also use it from the throat in some of the exercise?
See, nose and throat, two different areas, right? So always all the breaths are done through the nostrils only.
Okay.
Okay, nostrils only. But the regulation is at the throat.
Okay.
So for example, now if I breathe like this. So this is a pure nasal breath. It's not controlled. Now when
Okay.
you do with the same nasal breath only, controlled at the throat, the sound changes like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you able to hear the sound difference?
Yeah. Okay.
So its breath is through the nose only always. No, there is no where you open the mouth. The mouth breath happens when you do Dhyana Bandha Agnisara Kriya. That exhalation through the mouth, no, those 5 rounds.
Yeah.
That is the mouth breath. There, that too only exhalation is done, and it is called as Mukha Dauti. Like when you do, when that air is expelled, that is Mukha Dauti. So that is the only place where the breath is released through the mouth.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the other breaths are taken through the nose, and the regulation is at the throat. Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I had a question. Yeah.
Yeah, ask. Yeah.
The knees are coming. Elbows are coming here.
Elbows are together. Don't spread your elbow when you lift up. Yeah. So that is correct. So what happens is some days when you're doing, your elbows are going away. It is going away like this. So these are common mistakes. When you go down, like this. So it should not be done. So when you go down, the elbow runs close to the body.
Okay, sir.
And when you come up, also elbow comes close to the body. Otherwise, what is happening? You will use your bones, your elbow joint, shoulder joint, all that will develop problems. If you spread like this, never do that while practicing any of the the ground pressing asanas anywhere. Say Bhujangasana, say when you do the Chaturanga Dandasana, whenever you do Surya Namaskar also, when you go down like this. So never spread the elbow. And because the elbow is not it's a single hinge joint like this. This joint cannot rotate. Shoulder can rotate, but elbow cannot rotate. Elbow will be like a hinge this way, no? If you move like this, the movement is happening here. Not if you keep this fixed, your elbow cannot move sideways. It can move only like this. So elbow can move this way. It cannot go like this. If you go like this, the shoulder is acting then, and your elbow joint will get damaged. It will get tennis elbow problem. Similarly, other thing is, many people they miss this. Always your fingers will be really spread. When you push, it should be really spread like that, full spread. Open up. Never keep it closed when you're pushing the ground. Any other queries regarding Surya Namaskar?
Yes, sir. Anita here.
Anita.
So in this month there is no Chaturanga, is it? Or instead of Ashtanga we can do Chaturanga also?
Yes, Chaturanga, Ashtanga, seniors should do Chaturanga Dandasana. I'm showing this because many different people are there, right?
Yeah. So the knees are already on the ground because after Shashanka you come to the cat position. Then how can you just show the transition to Chaturanga? I'm not clear.
You can do like that. So you are in Shashankasana. From here, inhale, come up on the knees and stand the toe. So keep the toe a little apart. When you exhale, go down, your knee will go up. Like that. So,
Got it.
yeah, just lift the knee when you start going down. A little, maybe around 1 inch or 2 inches maximum. That's all what needs to be done.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then in the last round, we hold all the positions with breath control. Any other query? Otherwise, I go to asana practices. There were some questions, I think. From Pooja, Setubandha Sarvangasana. Yeah, I'll show you that after some time. Flexibility of Hanumanasana, she has asked. Breathing while yoga steps. Steps, please. Okay. That is Kanchan. Kanchana has asked that. So I've explained, these are the 2-3 questions which have come. I've explained regarding breathing. So it's very important. I keep talking about breath in most of the classes. 90% of the classes I'll talk about breath. So people don't so because breath cannot be seen, right? If somebody asks you, okay, how many asanas did you learn? Can you do chakrasana? This is what generally people will ask. Or can you do a headstand? Or can you? So this is what measurement comes. Even in yoga competitions, nobody, very few people, very rarely during these competitions they'll check your controls, your breath, the depth of your breath. All that cannot be checked much. There are some competitions which I know where those aspects are given more weightage compared to the complexity of asanas you do. Very few of them. So once things are not visible or people don't talk about it, that doesn't have much importance. This happens in everywhere, not only yoga, most of the places. So, but if you refer all the books everywhere, breath is the first important part, because all the things are connected with that. When you breathe fast, your mind is fast. When you get, say, angry, your breath is fast. When you become fearful, our breath is fast. So a fast breath is always like a fight and flight mode, that mode. Whereas slow, deep breaths, even if you talk to most of the doctors, where when you have difficulties related to sleep or stress related problems, all of them they will ask you to slow down your breathing. Slow, deep breaths are very superior, and they activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Slow, deep breathing. That is what all pranayama is doing, right? If you go to, say, Isha Yoga or Ravi Shankar, Sudarshan Kriya, or any techniques that you see, say, a lot of focus comes on breath. So breath is the first priority in all the yoga practice ideally, and unfortunately in most of the classes that is the least, that is the most ignored, because nobody can see that, nobody can check. I mean, but in our class we are the ulta. For us, breath is primary. If you take the lineage of Patabi Jois and all, they are even in Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Mysore style, all places, the importance of breath is very high, very high. All the other things happen with time. That is what they say. So what I say is, I think that question was Kanchan. So it comes with experience only, it doesn't come, but there are people who have been practicing for 20-25 years, still their breath is not good. They are not aware of their own breath styles. So regulated breathing is very important. For example, when you do Trikonasana, I'm going to just show you a simple example of Trikona, or I'll show you this asana which we are doing this month itself, which is the Parshva Konasana, right? So what, I'll start from here, okay, because Samasthiti. So before I start, I ask you to take one inhalation, because everything has to synchronize with that, if you recollect the class sequence. So I take an inhalation. Here itself the mistake starts. Problem is, we take a quick nasal breath. I'll show you the generally what people take. Just see the breath I take. Gone. If you do this, the first step itself is lost. The entire practice go for a toss, because it's a quick, unregulated breath. There is no regulation here. See, it's a breath. It's a full breath. May not, but it's not regulated. So when you do that, it's already gone to the fight or flight mode. Gone. So the entire practice is gone for a toss. So see the breath I am going to take now. I'm going to inhale. Exact 4 seconds. You can make it 5 also, because in our class we follow 4 seconds. So this is the first step. Now let me show you how I'm going to synchronize my actions with that breath. So I first inhale. Exhale, leg out. So my exhale is over now. So I have to wait till my exhale is over. In my mind, the clock is running, that my exhale is going on. So that awareness has to come into you. Now turning is an inhalation. I turned the leg and my chest is filled up now. Now exhalation. I delay my actions to match my breath. I could have done like this. Look, just see. My exhale was not over. My hand reached before my exhale was over. I should not do that. I have to match the time, the breath and the actions. All the three has to match. So I have finished my inhalation here. Exhale, bend. Inhale, hand stretch. Now my inhale is over. First exhale is over. One breath is completed. So what am I doing? I am counting in my mind. I am planning my breath. I am not focusing much on my physical action. Yes, it may be good, but I have not reached here before I learned the breath. Now, inhalation. So 2 breaths are over. One more. At the same time, I am calculating my legs and all. Now my 3 breaths are over. Now I have to exhale, bring the hand back. I am waiting for the breath to be over. So my inhale is over now. Now exhale. So did you see that the mind is completely engaged in this game? It cannot slip. No way. The reason is I am counting, numbered inhalation, when to finish that inhalation, when to finish that exhalation. All that planning is going on in the mind. So what else can I think of when this is happening? I cannot think about anything else, because the activity is going in like that. So this is what you should plan. So what I'll show you now, some of you will say, sir, you've been practicing for so many years, that's why you're able to do. No, I'll show you people, students who have practiced just for a week. They've not been practicing anything. First time yoga people, I'll tell you, and they breathe better than people who have been practicing for 10 years. You know what they'll do? Now I'll show you this. If you tell me, no sir, when I'm stretching in that I'm getting too much tired, my hand is paining like this. Now let me show you a simple way to do this. Same style of breath for a beginner. I'll show you this side, because this side is over. So I again inhale. Did you see that 3 dimension of the breath? Exhale. Inhale. Everybody can inhale this much, no? Exhale. Inhale. Or I'll do this. Now see, I got my height. Very easy when I'm able to do it now. I'm checking. See, my leg is straight. One breath is over. So what did this brick do to me? I became more beginner. After 1 month, what will I do? I'll turn this brick, keep it like this. So I go deeper. After 1 month, okay, now my breath is good. Let me go a little deeper. After 2 months, what will I do? I'll turn the brick like this. Third height. After 6 months, what will I do? I'll remove the brick. Because I have learned to breathe well in Parsha Konasana. So see, for everything there is a medicine. Problem is we should be willing to do it. So don't think that, okay, by using the brick, I am inferior. No, I am far more intelligent than a person who is doing the same asana like this. I am shivering. My breath, you observe my breath. My mind is drifting. Now what asana is this? Tell me. There is no such yoga. Believe me, I will give it in writing. Take that anywhere. Because your mind is going here, there, here. You don't know where it is going. Yes, you are doing a physical action. Yes, it is an exercise. It is not yoga asana. Yoga asana will be full presence of mind. Yogic breathing. Yoga asanas are done with yogic breathing. You go to any books, you go to Vyasa, Swami Vivekananda will tell yogic breathing. What is yogic breathing? Slow, deep, regulated, complete inhalations and complete exhalation. That is yogic breathing. So you have to learn that. So I think Kanchana had asked that question. So that's what I'm telling you. Do what you can. You can reduce the stretches. Learn the steps. Invest your time. All this will happen only if you know the steps. Now remember, now first person he is coming and he is doing he does not know what is Parsha Konasana, or he or she does not know what is the first step. So what he will do? He will first listen. Okay, Shiv Kumar is telling, Ekam, first inhale. Ekam, exhale, take your right leg out 4 feet, catch your waist. By the time I completed that sentence, already 2 seconds are over, or 3 seconds. Then he will say, okay, left leg. Okay, first he will understand what is left, right, he will look. There are some students like that. Then he will think, okay, leg. Leg means, okay, leg. Then he will think. So if you don't know these things, the primary thing itself is lost. That means knowledge is not there. So after that instruction is given, then you will realize, okay, left leg lena hai. तो left leg लेगा. तो ध्यान किधर है? Where is the सांस का ध्यान? सांस का ध्यान है ही नहीं. तब बोलेगा exhale, inhale and turn. तो वो टाइम पे exhale चल रहा होगा. That person exhale is going on. Okay, चलेगा, जाने दो. He will exhale and turn. Then actually it was inhalation. Then I will say exhale, bend the knee, keep your left hand on the left side of the left foot. How many words were told? Exhale, bend the knee, keep the left foot and the left hand on the left side of the left foot. So many things you have to understand. Okay, I have to bend the knee, keep the left hand on the left side of the left foot. So some people keep on the right side of the foot, like Tanmay and all. Because no mind, he does not know where it is to keep. So generally he keeps here. After 2 weeks also he'll keep here only, because he is not thinking. So first you have to learn all the steps. Unless you know the steps, very difficult to synchronize your actions and your breath. So keep doing, gradually you'll get there. So breath, steps, drishti, all that will synchronize with time. Now, there was another query about Setubandha Sarvangasana that I'll reply later. When that sequence.
In Parivata Partha Konasana, right?
Yeah.
my like my hand is not touching the ground, which is fine. But after some point of time, it slips out of the knee and comes out.
Use a brick. So with the bricks, it's easy. I don't know whether you're using a brick. Generally, he
I'm
asks.
not using.
So I think with the bricks, it's easy. So when you're here, so I inhale and turn. See, I turned my foot. Now, if you do this asana with this distance, some people do with short distance. No way, you cannot. So your picture will become like this, somewhere like this. Like it will be like a zigzag and all. So the distance should be correct. Now, when you use a break, so this action is important in Parivarta. This armpit bringing on the thigh. Now, if you have a brick, you will get that grip of the brick you will get. So you will not get that slip. For me, brick is a little tall, so I am not able to do it properly. So maybe in your case, the height, there are 3 different heights. You can use either of the heights. This is fairly okay. So get this twist, this chest has to come up. And then with an inhalation, you have to stretch the arm. Like that. If you use a brick, your grip will be a little taller. You can try. Or if you find it tough, you just keep the hand like this and stretch the arm like this.
Yeah, so that is how it is standing, but after some point of time, it slips out of the knee.
Yeah. So in that case, I think it is better to use a brick or something which elevates the floor so that you will get that grip of the hand. Maybe it will help you. Just try. Okay. So that is Parsha Konasana, Parivarta. Now Ardha Chandrasana. What are the important tips of Ardha Chandrasana? Samastiti, half moon posture. So I'll show you the front view to show you how to keep the hands. First I'll show you side view. So Ekam, inhale. So how do you take the arm? So initially when you take the arm up, palm is facing the ground. At the shoulder level it will turn. It's like this. It's okay if you take it directly also. So it's a linear stretch. Then exhale. Now, where is the hand to be kept? If you have bricks, it's easy to elevate. Many of the people, you can keep it like this. Or in this position, this way. So, your hand should be kept not in the line of the legs. It has to be kept in front for Ardha Chandrasana. If you are not able to reach the floor, you have to use bricks to elevate the surface. So don't keep your hand here in Ardha Chandrasana. You will not get balance. So it is kept in front and diagonal. So if you see my front view, see this like this. So it is from here also out, from the feet also front. So it is shoulder distance hands and little front, about 1 foot in front of you. That's the place to keep the hands. So this is done with exhalation. Keeping the hand on the mat. Now I have to inhale and take my left leg up. Now what should I do? I have to exhale. Now inhaling, take the left hand up. What should I do? Again exhale. How many breaths are over? 1.5. How do you complete the second breath? By looking up. 2 breaths are over. 2.5. 3. Exhale, hand down, leg down. So did you observe whatever I spoke, where was the reference taken from? Anybody?
Breathing, sir.
Divya. So the reference came from there. I did not say, you watch any video of in YouTube, they will say, inhale, hands up. Exhale, bend forward. That much they will tell. Now, they will say, take the left leg up. Now take your left hand up. Where is the inhalation, exhalation? Kuch pata hi nahi hai. Okay, so most of the videos I'm doing, but there are good videos there, very good videos also where they'll synchronize. So leader is breathing. So nowhere is the breath lost. And why is this method? Why did we do that method? Now try doing like this. Everybody will fall. If you do this, see, I'm also losing balance. Because what all things I did, I took my leg, my hand, drishti, everything together. Masala dosa bana diya. Huh? So people, problem I'll tell you where it is coming from. It is coming from lack of knowledge and lack of focus on regulated breathing. That is the reason why this masala dosa comes. Make proper plain dosa. बाद में मसाला डालेंगे, बाद में चटनी डालेंगे, ऐसा सब कुछ एक साथ मत बनाओ, एक साथ मत खाओ. पहले डोसा है, चटनी है, मसाला है, ऐसा अलग अलग. नो कोकोनट चटनी, your this one onion chutney, everything separate. Like that we will eat. Don't make everything together. Step by step करेंगे. एकम, द्वि, त्रीणि. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, look down, hand down, leg down, in that sequence. What is the sequence from here? Look down. Why? I will get balance to land my hand and leg. Then what should I bring? Hand down. When the hand is down, good balance comes. Then leg down. All that happens in how many exhalations? Anybody? Looking down, hand down, leg down, in how many exhalations?
One, sir. One exhalation.
One exhalation. See, Divya is very sharp. She knows the trick. So that's how you have to calculate and practice. Then inhale, take the arms up here. Exhale, Samasthiti. Samasthiti में क्या क्या है? Toe साथ में है, heel साथ में, hand tight है. Attention position. Ekam, inhale, 1.5 foot, catch your waist. Do exhale, sit between your thighs. Between your knees and doing Namaste in the center. I know there is not much of a light here. Little dark my pictures are, I think so. Inhale. What is this asana? Exhale.
Malasana.
Malasana. Inhale. Very easy to breathe. One more. Looking one point. Then inhale, keep the hands back. What am I waiting for? VIP. Breath. Samasthiti. Exhale. Normal breathing. Any doubts on standing asanas? These are the 3 standing asanas which we are doing this month, right?
So Chandrasana, what is the distance between the hands? You are putting almost in the edge of the mat, but is it shoulder distance?
Shoulder distance only, shoulder distance. So some of you, if you find it too difficult to balance, see why the balance is because of the difference between the leg position and the hand position. See, because of this distance, you will get the balance. You just keep it here, then it's difficult. See, you will lose balance this side or that side.
Exactly.
Because there is its own single line. No, it's like walking on the edge of a parapet or something.
Like 2-wheeler versus the 3-wheeler.
Yes, perfect, Muthu. Good analogy. My analogy was yours was better than me. So like cycle, no, 2-wheeler. Now this is very difficult. So that's why this hand distance helps.
But nothing wrong in it.
No, it's correct only. You have to keep your hand offset so that you will get easy balance. Here it's very tough, so you'll keep falling. So let it be shoulder distance, correct only. That is the correct distance only.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Muthu. Then that's all in standing asanas.
Sir, 1 second. From Malasana, when you go to sitting position, can you just show me that
Yeah.
once?
So I was here. This was completed with an exhalation. And then while inhaling, I have to keep the hands back. I lean on my hand. Exhale, release. Then you can just relax.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. That completes standing asanas. Sitting asanas. What are the first one? Jana Shirshasana, Parivarta Jana Shirshasana. I'll show you my left side, which is not as good as my right, because that will be more visible at least. Inhale is over. So what is this angle? See, it was not kept like this. So it has to be kept a little back. Even in Jana Shirshasana, even though this doesn't do too much of effect on Jana Shirsha, in Parivarta this helps a lot. This keeping the leg around 120 degree. So it's not, in Iyengar's book also he has written that it should be kept even in Jana Shirshasana, kept a little back like this. And he does not call head to knee here. He calls this as the head of the knee. The head of the knee is here. That's what Iyengar says. So I think there is a logic for it. So that's knee head posture. So Ekam, exhale. Dvi. So don't turn your full body like this. Only the leg will go a little back. Dvi, inhale. Trini, so the toe was like this, it comes backward. So I'm pulling. See, if you want to go down, you have to pull. It is not possible to do like this. You cannot go like this. You have to extend. You have to look front. You have to pull front. Don't look down. Jana Shirsha, Parivarta Jana Shirsha, all these asanas, you have to look front. Bring the chin forward, chest forward, navel forward, everything front. Going down is last. See, I'm going closer to the toe. Toe. I'm looking front. My elbows are touching. I'm not touching the head down. One more inhalation. And then exhale, last exhale. What is the relevance of the head? The head was used to travel forward only. It was not used to travel downwards. Forward, why is it called forward bending? It is not called downward bending. Down to the leg. No. Forward bending. Forward. There I have to go. There. I have to go there, not here. It is pivoted here. So it will automatically go down. So travel front. Pull every day. It may take five years. No problem. You don't do like this. No.
So that's what in one of the video it was saying, that try to kiss your legs, don't kiss your feet.
See? Fantastic. So Sridhar gave a good example.
Your face should go towards your feet, trying to kiss your feet, and then finally last put your head down.
Yeah, Sridhar, right point. Last month when I was observing some people, they're doing Chakki Chalna like this.
Only the hand movement, yeah.
And see, they're not looking where they have to reach. Now, how will you do Chakki Chalna? Where will I reach? There's nowhere. I'm not reaching anywhere. This travel is not here. Chakki Chalana is not an action here.
Hip, it is hip.
Yeah, it's a hip opener. So from here, when I say take an inhalation here, exhale, go to the left leg. Then so where is my drishti is going? Here. I will reach only where I look. Where will I reach like this? I will not reach anywhere. Yes, it may look that my Chakki Chalna is good, but it's not. If some people are they're not able to, they're doing like this. No, it's okay. Just keep the leg straight without bending the knee. Do like this. See, I'm not bending too much front. See, I'm going, my direction is correct. I know I have to reach here. This, my direction is not correct. See, the leg is bending. Instead of that, keep the leg straight. Inhale is over. Exhale, go little this direction is fine. Hand can be straight. Take it like this. This direction is fine. Come back. Maybe after 1 month. So, I know that I have to reach here, reach here. If I don't know that, where will I go? That's why I'm telling. Look, drishti, breath, so exhalation, inhale, all that will synchronize for you. I have been trying to inspire many people, so but their mind is not there. Their mind is on weight loss, okay, no other things. So it will keep on happening, it will drag you in another direction. So if you do this, automatically weight loss will come. Don't focus on weight loss, it will not come. So if you do this, weight loss will come, I am telling you. Now Janu Shirshasana. In Parivarta Janu Shirshasana, I am talking important points only. See, remaining everything you will do on your own. I am just putting the right track. If I put on the right track, another, you don't have to practice with me. You practice on your own, you'll become expert. How that Ekalavya, no, Sridhar? Ekalavya, no, who
Ekalavya. Who learned that arrow?
With the, I think this one, with the picture of Dronacharya, right?
Yep.
Yeah. How? Only with mind power. How he learned? Dronacharya was not there in front of him to teach him. He learned everything just because his mind power. So the thing is, he was put on the right track. Same thing, if you go on the right track, you don't need me. If you derail, then only I come into picture. So please pick up these cues from the things, and then you are your own master. You don't require me at all. Now, this one, Parivarta. I line up the back. Now, when I exhale, there itself the hand turns. Now, observe the hand position. Darkness is.
No, it's fine, sir. We are able to see.
So, from here, how do the hand turn? You can see. So, palm was facing each other, right? When I lifted my arm, so it came up sideways. Palm is facing each other. From here, the hand will rotate, the body will rotate. So, the hand will become like this catch. So, where are the fingers? This little finger on the top, this little finger on the top. Both the little fingers are on the top. It's not like this, not like this. It is not like this. So, just think in your mind, from here, my palm was facing each other. That palm will also rotate in the direction of the body. So it turns, both the palm will turn its own directions and catch like this. So both the little fingers are facing up. I hope you can see my fingers in the video. So I reached here, head is not here. Some people are looking up like this, as if they are going to get something from the sky. Nothing will come. Your head has to go between the hand. What was this breath? When I went down, it's an exhalation.
Exhalation.
Yeah. Now when I look up, it's an inhalation. Where is my elbow? Here.
On the floor.
Elbow is either touching the floor or taking this knee as the point to support for Parivarta Janu Shirshasana. Parivarta means revolve, rotate. Janu Shirsha, knee head posture. So this elbow for beginners. I'll show you, first day how you should do. They think, oh sir, this is very, very difficult, very, very advanced asana. No advanced asana. There is no advanced asana. No beginner asana. Only beginner students, advanced students. You may be a beginner, you may be an advanced person. There is no advanced asana, no beginner asana. So beginner person, I'll show you. Now first let me show you the good practice how you'll do. Now that rotation comes. So what am I using? This elbow, this shoulder, all that I am using as the pivot to look up. How many breaths over? Half a breath. Let me inhale. How am I breathing here? I have also same lungs like Leon. I don't have double lung, I mean double the size. Same lungs only. The only thing that I make a difference is I calculate, I count, I calculate, I plan. That's the only difference between me and you. Now inhale again. Then exhale. Now inhale. 3 breaths are over. Exhale and twist. Shut. Inhale. What happened to the toe? Intelligent finger aa gaya udhar. So where is the chance for mind to go away? I don't know. Breath. I am thinking toe. Where is my toe? Where is my breath? Inhale is over. Exhale is over. Is it Trini or Chatwari? Or is it Shat or Sapta or Ashta? All this is in the mind, playing in my mind. Same thing should play in your mind. That is the only way I am telling you. These things you have to learn. Then nobody, you don't need teacher. You can teach others. Now.
How can that be possible?
You can teach, no problem. You can teach so many things I am learning from you. Now beginner. Ekam. Exhale ho gaya. Dvi. Inhale. This much everybody can do. Trini. Exhale. I'm catching here. Chatwari. Inhale. It's okay. I'm getting it. Nice twist. I'm not catching my toe. It's fine. Okay, I'm not able to touch my toe also. I'm able to catch here only. But my hand directions are correct. It's not like this. My hand directions are correct. From here I exhale, I turn my hand, I turned my body and exhale, I caught my leg somewhere. This hand is not catching. No problem. First day I am practicing Parivarta Janu Shirshasana. I'm just putting it like this. And Chatwari I inhale. See, I'm getting a twist here. I'm getting a twist here. After 6 months. और थोड़ा अच्छा हो गया, ऐसा हो गया. और थोड़ा after 6 months another थोड़ा हो गया. Like that you travel. See, who told Parivarta Janu Shirshasana is advanced asana? I showed you how it can be done by a beginner. This is only what is yoga is about. Then after inhale is completed, exhale. Very gracefully I caught my leg somewhere. Then inhale. Where is the chance for injury here? 0 chance. Exhale. What protected me? Knowledge. Yeah, knowledge, breathing, process. All that protected me. Then inhale, take the left leg forward. Inhale is over. Exhale, pull the other leg. Then the process starts on the other side. So any doubts on Janu Shirshasana, Parivarta Janu Shirshasana? Otherwise, I do.
Sir, how to avoid sometimes in the Janu Shirshasana, the second one, the knee lifts sometimes.
The folded knee, right?
The straight knee.
Oh, straight knee is lifting. So are you putting this elbow on this knee? I mean, is it touching here, elbow? Or is it touching? Not touching.
It is touching. No.
Touching. So when you're doing like this is lifting up like this.
Yes.
So first I think you should put this back. Maybe you using the pressure of your elbow or something. You try to put it back. I think you are probably improving the twist by bending this knee, maybe like this.
Yes.
Yeah. Try not to do that. Maybe without your knowledge it may be happening. So try to keep this leg maybe properly grounded and let the twist be a little less. That's fine. Use gradually increase the depth and bring the shoulder down so that it becomes more firm and then improve the twist to the sky.
Sir, what I tried, I'm not able to twist sometimes. Sometimes the knee, always.
It will come. See, you need time. See, what you have to step, as I told you, focus on good process, Tanmay. You have to see, some days you are doing it very well, I observed. Some days, the full mind is going away. You're focusing on tak like that. So you have to go to those other days when you're doing well. It is coming very nice on some days, I observed. When you're doing that forward bending, in standing, no, Surya Namaskar. Exhale, slowly you're bending forward. So if you do like that, you will learn more. I'm telling you, gradual actions. Especially when you do that hands up and all, no? When you do that Namaskara, you're doing too quickly. You do this, okay, then you're doing coming like this. So this will all spoil you. So no, that much speed should not come. So inhale. Now slowly bring. No, see, I reached after you. Can you do again with me? Wait. You have to slow down a little more. So if you go a little slower, I'm not saying you should become very slow, not like that. They say maybe 4 seconds, that much only is enough. Try to slow down these actions. What will happen? You will be able to, it is like, no, for example, you go in a car from your house to the school in a car. I'm just giving an example, okay? If you're going in a car, you will see some shops, right? Some shops are there. Maybe you will see a bakery, or maybe you will see some other shop, 2 or 3 shops here. Now imagine you are walking that distance, the full, without a car, you're walking the distance. This time you will see many more shops, because you are able to, you're going a little more slower. Similarly, if you go a little slow in these actions, like lifting, bringing the hand down, you will be able to realize more things. You will see more things. Okay, so try to slow down your actions a little.
So can I just tell one single point over here? When Muthu asked this question, where his knee is bending, probably one more thing what he can try is, Muthu, when you're twisting it, once you twist it, don't go down directly. When Sir does, you just see his navel is coming first. Again, he's doing just like Janu Sirsasana, where his face is also going forward and then twisting and catching. Probably you might be trying to reach your hand and you might arching your back. So you're trying to reach and you might bend your knee up. So go forward and then twist, then it might be on the floor. Check out that point as well.
Sure, Sridhar.
Okay, good. That's a good point, Sridhar.
Yeah, thank you.
So this was a forward bend sequence, right? Now, any other clarity? Otherwise, I'll go to Ushtrasan and okay, that I'll get through. Now I'll focus on another question which was by Pooja, I think. That was on Setubandha. Many people are not doing that, but I think it's not a very difficult asana. If you are able to do your Setubandhasana fairly well, then Setubandha Sarvangasana is also not very difficult. Just a step higher, which we are trying this month. I'll show you the simple techniques. Last time I think I showed, and also another technique by Sridhar also, he also given a technique. So either of that if you use, then this you can do this asana. It's not very difficult one. So I'm going to go into that. Setubandha Sarvangasana.
So sorry, before to that, can you just show when we do, the first one is basically we do before getting on to the boat shape pose. We do 2 asanas together, Vakrasana, and then we do the boat shape.
Yeah.
The boat shape, the 60-degree angle, actually, that is actually a little concern for me.
So in boat position, see some people who, if you get a tailbone pain while doing that boat posture, you have to be careful. If anybody gets a pain on the tailbone, so you keep a blanket. Good, if you keep a blanket, so it doesn't hurt your lower, the tailbone. So in the Navasana, the sit bones have to act. You know the sit bones, just on the buttocks you have sit bones. If you push your hands, you can feel them. So the sit bones is where actually the pressure comes in your Purna Navasana. It is not on the lower back. So just observe Samastiti. Ekam, inhale, lift both the legs 60 degree, right? So the lower back, so this lift is important. So if you do this much, then you'll not be able to get that. So try to bring it above the head level. Where is the heel? Heel has come almost above the head level. So try to lift, that lift using the pressure of the hand, you have to lift. If you keep it low, it's tough. It's a little more tough. So inhale. So just buttocks region it will come, and then exhale. You can see it's easy. If you lift your leg properly, the problem comes generally when you do this much. Now here it's tough, a little more difficult to see. Lift it up, ensure that the heel comes almost in this level or little above the head level. It's like 60 degree or little more than that. It should not be too high, not this much. It's not this. So you'll lose the balance and you'll round your back also. You should not round your back. Keep in the position where not the lower back, just below the lower back, just above the sit bone, the buttocks will touch the floor. And exhale. So this is actually immaterial. Hands not doing any work. Where is the hand? Hand is not at all doing any work. Hand is just taking you the balance. So what is happening here is the core muscles, the muscles on the abdomen is becoming tighter. This is doing the job of holding this leg up. It's tightening the muscles inside. I mean, it will be more on the lower abdomen, lower core muscles. And when you do the Ardhanavasana next month, when you do this one, here the upper abdomen works. So next month we are doing, so generally we do lower abdomen first then upper abdomen like that. So Purna Navasana is for lower abdomen. So this height of the leg is what is going to help you. Inhale, hand down. So even if your hand doesn't come, there's not much work. So maybe the level of that leg is what you can think about. Is it a little too low or is it too high? Just check these things. And again, yes, there is strength required. Not.
Sir, the knee is bending little bit.
Knee, it's okay. Yeah.
Actually, I experience actually pain, not pain literally, but I feel that there is shivering or trembling happening when I do this actually. That is why.
More core muscle is not strong enough to take that weight. So that even if I stay for another maybe another 10, 15, 20 seconds, I'll also start shivering. It's quite natural. So just try to get that as long as you can and then come down. So the reason is the core muscles are not getting engaged and strong enough to catch the weight of your legs. That must be the reason why that shivering comes.
So for me, without my hand support, I can't hold that position.
So it's all because of the strength of the core. See, all these are connected. See, I'll tell you, if you want to learn a particular asana, those muscles which are required for that asana may be getting developed in some other asanas. For example, a person who is doing Chaturanga Dandasana in Surya Namaskar, right? So that Chaturanga Dandasana will help you to do this Purna Navasana, Rekha. So we have to practice in a wholesome manner. Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah, but it happens, in the beginning it's like that only. That it doesn't mean that you have to do too many Surya Namaskara and then get stronger. No, you have to take your own journey. You need not stop. Nobody, see, there are techniques for everything. Any difficulty you have, there are ways to maneuver. You can find the right maneuvering tricks. A person who is having a back pain can do Sarvangasana with the help of the wall. In our university they are doing. The people having lower back pain, they do Sarvangasana with the help of the wall.
For me in Shirsasana, my legs do not go up.
No. It's fine, it will happen with time, okay?
On the wall.
Yeah. So practice, that's the only method, it will improve. So what I am telling is the strength required for those you will get in other practices also. Don't think that only if you do Navasana you will get it, not required, okay? It will come.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now Setubandha Sarvangasana I am going to show you, which most of the people are not doing. And the technique how to lift the support, hand support. Inhale, arm over the head. So why am I? See, I am sticking to the processes. If I don't do like this, I will get injured. When I stretch my arm up and stretch my toes forward, just observe my lower back. It was like this. My lower back was flat. It was not getting the original backbone shape. So I see people don't do this, samasthiti. The importance of samasthiti is that you can see my lower back here. It's flat. It is flat. It's not enough correct original backbone shape. So when I take the arm over the head, I stretch it really. Then exhale, I point my toes. Now I'm getting my lower back, that original curvature of the lower back came. Now my back is protected. That's the beauty of samasthiti. Ekam, inhale. I folded my leg, kept it at shoulder distance, away from each other. Dvi, exhale. Catch the toe. Dvi, inhale. Lift your hips like a bridge. Exhale. Now hip height is good. One breath is over. Observe the stomach. I rotate my shoulder. Gripped a little more stronger. Last inhale is over. Now I tilt to the side, lift this shoulder and brought my hand below. See, where is the elbow? It came below the body. Did you see that? How did I bring it? I lifted one shoulder up. You can do this by heels up, but you may not get the height. If you lift the shoulder, the hip moves higher than lifting the heel. If I lift the heel, it may not work. Sridhar had mentioned the technique. Yes, it will lift to some extent. You can do this also, but shoulder will give you that. So my one hand became like a pillar. Now on that pillar, I take the other shoulder up. Okay, other shoulder up. This is done with an inhalation. Now this shoulder is up. I get space. This side of the hip moved up. Then I inserted my right pillar. Now see the position of the elbow. My elbow is inside. It is below the back. It's not here. Here what Setubandha Sarvangasana you will do? Nothing is possible. So observe how I inserted. I will show you from this view now. Then you will understand it better. From here I came to Setubandha. Now I lift this shoulder like this. Are you getting me? Like this. Insert the pillar. This is done with exhalation. Then I lift this shoulder and insert this hand like the pillar. Inhalation. So my both pillars are very close. They are not away. They are below. If you keep the elbows away, gone. This asana very, very easy if your pillar is there. One of the favorite asanas of B.K. Iyengar. He says, if I get some time to practice, I will practice this asana. So now you see again. Inhale is over. Exhale. See the elbow position. Inhale. Now just exhale, walk. Very easy. You can actually relax completely here. Let the shoulder lift a little, no problem. Very enjoyable asana actually. Good relaxation you will get here. One more inhale. Exhale, walk back. Sorry, inhale, walk back. Exhale, press the palm by the ear. And then inhale, lift up. Last inhalation. Exhale, come down. Inhale, leg straight. Exhale, hand down. Relax your I hope you could pick up that main point which I spoke about, how to insert those pillars.
Sir, I was able to insert the pillars, but while going front, the stomach was not going in little bit.
So try to slow down your actions, it will come, okay? That inserting the pillars is the trick of the game.
So ultimately it should be below the hip, right? It's
Yeah.
not on the buttock.
No.
Okay.
So it will be below the hip, not on the buttocks, correct? The position is below the hip, here. See, the full hand is inserted and the pillars are firm. I mean, it comes very, very close to each other. Very, very close. And I'm telling you, it's a very, very relaxed asana. It's easy because the hands are literally, the forearm is taking the load. There is no weight on the wrist. Very, very less load on the wrist. Very, very less.
Thumb is inside and the
Yeah,
four fingers are outside.
Yes, thumb is really inside, really inside. The fingers are facing outwards. I mean, the all other four fingers.
Understood. Okay.
The wrist comes very, very close to each other. Elbows also come very close to each other. The technique, the problem lies in the way you're not, if you don't lift this, if you maybe the heel also, like Sridhar said, shoulder and heel. I think either of that or both of them. If you get this and with this height you insert and then turn to the other side, lift this side and insert. Then it's cakewalk, nothing to be done. Okay, that's the way.
Sir, while lifting Chakrasana, and when you tell to keep the head down, sometimes the body also comes down.
That's because you're not holding it.
Sir, before you turn,
Yeah.
one quick check.
Yeah.
Matsyasana,
Yeah.
can you just show me, when you lift your head up, is your elbow holding on to your back or is it lying flat on the mat?
Okay, I'll show you that. So here also the insertion of the arm is very important. Inhaling, insert both the arms below the buttocks, I say. So the arms means no, I don't say generally hand. Hand is this much only. Arm is full arm. So I have to insert my arm. So see, the full arm has gone below. So my back till the so you can say the knee is not touching the floor. Buttocks, lower back is not touching the floor. The entire lower back is resting on the arm. Arm is not outside. See, my elbow is not outside in Matsyasana. The arm is below the body. Arm. So the forearm is below the buttocks. Everything is below the body. My shoulder is out, but everything below that is in the air, on the arm. Now inhaling, when I lift up, see, very easy to lift up. Some people find it difficult to lift up because their arm is outside the buttocks. The reason lies there. The entire arm is below the buttocks, full arm. So there's nothing much to lift up, very easy. Then from here I bulge. See, the bulge is done here itself. Then I land with the bulged back. See, with the bulged back, I land my crown. So the reason why people don't get it, I'm not saying that you're not doing it correctly. I'm just giving you the right techniques. Insert the arm really below, very, very close. Very, very close and really below the buttocks. This, your forearm will be below the buttocks. Full arm. Full. You're lying down on the arm. Nothing on the back is touching the floor. Very easy to lift up. Very easy to round and come back. Exhale. I hope I am able to clarify what you had asked, Divya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So from there, yeah, a little bit of, I think it's already 5:40 kind of time. One important point is about the this one. When you do that, Vibhagya pranayama. Chest breathing in Bhastrika pranayama. So still people are not focusing on the chest rising. No, see, no, don't do it now. Don't waste your time. You're not, see, first you sit in front of a mirror and do it. What you're doing, you're not able to realize. What is it happening? You please realize. Okay, I cannot waste my time. Let's see, some people are doing this much. No Bhastrika like this. So all that is waste of time. This has to lift. Back will not move. So sitting Vajrasana is more effective. Lot of sand here, still I'll manage. Back is straight, back will not change. The upper lungs will inflate. Don't round your back when you come down. Okay, Tanmay. Open the upper lungs. That's Bhastrika. That's one point. That's what I wanted to stress. The second point which I want to stress is this one. You have to do your this one thoracic breathing, Madhyama Shvasana. So when you do that, the finger, the four fingers are in front, the thumb is at the back, like this. Don't keep it here, neither keep it here. Keep it little below the chest where this bottom part of the ribs are coming. That's where the expansion happens. Now look at my chest going outward. I did not take my elbow back. You can see my shirt shrinking and widening. Did my elbow go back? No. I can really feel my ribs pushing my hands away. It will not get too much of movement. Don't do this. Like from here. This is not thoracic breathing. This is some shoulder exercise. See, these are subtle things. They come through those small passages in your mind. They don't come really, ये ले लो, ऐसा नहीं आएगा वो. ये पकड़ो, आ गया आपके हाथ में, ऐसा नहीं आएगा वो आएगा धीरे धीरे. जब आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करेगा वो टाइम पे वो आइडिया आएगा. ऐसा रहता है. एक्सपीरियंस से आएगा वो. So you can see how, so don't keep it here, you will not get any feeling. Where is the expansion? I am not getting anything here. Don't keep it here also. Keep it a little down, just below the chest. And the fingers in front, thumb at the back. If you keep everything at the back or front, it will not work. That much expansion is enough. You can feel the fingers going away. If you're able to feel it on the hands, that's enough. That is thoracic breath. And other things are fairly simple. When you lift your arms, automatically the chest will come up. And stomach breathing also, it's simple. These are the two things. Then what do? We do Om chanting and then Shavasana. So any other queries? Did I answer everything? I think there was a query on Hanuman Asana by Pooja. So she was asking that.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
So flexibility of each person to the Hanuman Asana, or does it depend on the hamstrings and hip joints? See, here there are 2-3 things involved. There is a flexibility of the back involved in this. When you do Hanuman Asana, it is not only the hamstrings that stretch or the calf or that area. It may, but there is also a little back bend will come. When you do this Hanuman, you have to keep the back erect, right? You can see when I bring my hip down, if my back is not flexible enough, then I'll have to lean like this. My back is not arching. So when I make it straighter, my body straighter, the hamstring will pull and my lower back will also start arching. You can see my lower back arching now. If you lean forward, this will not work. So when I do with straight back, I can feel the back arching. There is a back arch. So it's a blend of these things. Yes, the hamstring is pulling, my back is arching, calf muscles are stretching, this quadricep is pulling. All these have to work hand in hand. So if your back bends are not good, if your Setubandha is not good, or your Chakrasana is not happening, yes, there may be a limitation on Hanumanasana as well. Because yes, there is a bend for back also required. And if the hamstrings are tight, definitely it will take a longer time to get there. Gradually, you'll be able to reach there. So it's a blend of a back bend, hamstring stretch, all these things will come into picture when you're doing Hanumanasana.
Sir, one quick check with you. Apart from our regular practice every day, is there certain practices or certain asanas which we can do at home to improve our back bend, our forward bend, and improve our flexibility? If there are any, if you can.
You can use some back bending benches and all are available in Amazon and all. Those that benches are, you can lie down on that, but don't target on too much of these things, because you are prone to an injury, especially after a particular age. Children, they are all active. So if you are generally active throughout the day, I think that's fairly enough. And if you're practicing 1 hour in a day, that is more than enough now. I don't think you don't require much other things, focused actions on back bending or forward, is not required. It will come within your daily practice itself.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I think with that we can close.
So I do this one, horse breathing sometimes.
So don't do that. Focus with your back straight, you should be able to do that. Okay. So I need to disconnect this class because the other class is on another bridge. So thanks all of you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Keep joining.
Thank you, sir.
It helps me a lot, definitely, because I also learn. I also get more confident when I speak to people, right? So such questions are thrown on me, right? So I improve my own knowledge also. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Really interesting.
Thank you. Bye. Good day.
Good day.
Thank you, sir.